you're up in a big city, right, there's lots of businesses and lots of big buildings and they pay lots of taxes. And it's a lot harder in rural Utah.
I'm Ben Winslow in Manti. The governor has signed into law an education bill that reworks funding for rural schools like this one behind me. And some small school districts say this can open up a lot of new opportunities.
Wow, thanks.
The governor's visit to Manti Elementary was greeted with enthusiasm.
This is where you'll be signing your bill.
Perfect.
It was exciting for students like Evelyn.
What do you think having the governor here?
Amazing.
And do you think this bill's going to help schools like yours?
Yes.
The kids got a lesson in the intricacies of rural education funding mechanisms.
We have to make sure that we have money not just now, but in the future for all of our students, especially in rural Utah.
House Bill 396 reworks how rural schools get money from the state. It's a big deal for rural school districts.
We have to provide the same services, but we have a lower number of students. And so whether there's 10 students in a classroom or 30 students in a classroom, you still got to have a teacher at the front of the room.
But rural schools don't always get that money.
In these schools that don't have the same tax base, the same opportunities, there's an additional amount of funding that will come every year to those schools.
So the new law changes how the funding formula works.
We really do have to think about economies of scale. They just can't create that in rural Utah like we can on the Wasatch Front. So we have to make sure that those students as well have the resources so that they can have a teacher, they can have a principal, they can have a bus driver, all those things that really are important to making school happen for our rural students.
The result of the bill is shifting more money to rural schools. They can hire teachers, bus drivers, or offer new programs. But if they grow and can sustain their own funding, they would ultimately get less money.
Governor Cox has said multiple times that we're trying to provide a high quality education regardless of zip code, that zip code doesn't determine the quality of education, and this bill is one big step towards making sure that happens.
The governor's been an outspoken advocate for local controlling education, even supporting the breakup of the U.S. Department of Education.
This is very much what we're talking about, the importance of local education, the importance of local decision making. That's why I appreciate this bill.
The deadline for the governor to sign or veto all of the bills the legislature passed in the most recent session is this week. In Manti, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.